Okay, guys, welcome back. Hope you guys all having a good time. So today on Friday, December 27th, we're looking at AMD stock. This is a semiconductor AI name that has been in a downtrend for quite some time. Some people call it that it's in a bear market. Definitely from its highs, it's down pretty big. But in recent a few days, if you have been following this channel, we were talking about this one, that if relief bounce is going to come, it's going to come into the Christmas, and it would be after option expiration. So this day right here was pretty big option expiration in stock market, and that's when we saw a little bit of an uptick in AMD stock. So is this the bottom? So I want to show you guys a couple things here, but anytime ultra short term, when stock is trading above their 5-day moving average, which is simple day moving average on my chart, it's this gray line. You can see anytime it was trading below it, it was bearish. And this is my gauge when I trade ultra short term. Again, it can flip at any moment. But so far, this moving average for the last 5 days or so, it's trying to uptick. And then at the same time, the stock is below 20-day moving average right here, the 50-day, and then the 200-day is way up here at 154. So can it bounce a little bit more towards maybe 130, 139? Is this the bottom? Well, I want to see one thing before calling if this stock is putting a bottom and if it's trying to get back into uptrend. Well, for me, it's very simple. Anytime stock reclaims back above its 50-day moving average, just like it has done in September and August, when we had a pretty big flushing move, stock came, tested that level, pulled back, and then when it got back above this yellow line, all of its basically short-term moving averages, this is something I would look for to be bullish. But if it cracks below, then it's very simple. I don't marry a stock, and I'll adjust my bias very quickly. So here's what I'm watching. I'm watching the index as a whole. So today S&P 500 was down 1%. QQQ, which is tech, nasdaq 100 was down 1.3%. And you can see all across the board we were negative. Even Russell 2000 sold off. Even Dow Jones, it was not like people were trying to hide somewhere. It wasn't volatile crazy, but volatility is picking up. And in this environment where tech was getting hit, big names were pulling back. Even if you take a look at Nvidia, it was 2% down. AMD held up. It's not a significant move, but it's still 0.1%. So flat. It didn't sell off. So what I'm watching from here for the stock, this sort of a divergence when overall market is trying to get hit and it doesn't go with it. And at the same time, I want to watch this. So I am comparing AMD to SMH. What is SMH? SMH, it's basically semiconductor ETF that I keep an eye. There's also SOX. Last time in April, May, I was watching some similar price action in semiconductors, where semiconductors rally first half or so all the way till March, and then they put this sort of a downtrend, and then we break out and we rally. But this time around, SMH, since July high, it has been in this downtrend. So this is as an index as a whole. Okay, so yeah, there are some names, semiconductor names, holding up better than the others, such as AMD, which is down a lot more. SMH year to date 42% up, AMD 15% down. But similar action like this forming, and it can resolve to either side. It can break below, or it can break out and maybe possibly run towards its all-time highs. If that happens, I want to see in either scenario what AMD is going to do. Will AMD join and basically move a bit faster than overall semiconductors? Or if I'm fishing for a bottom, if I'm looking for something like $100 on the stock, I want to see at the same time how AMD is going to react when this ETF and basically overall semiconductors start selling off. If it breaks the 200-day moving average and cracks below, because this this can go either way. It can break out, it can break down, but the move one way or another certainly coming. The year is about to be ending. Whether we're gonna see some sort of a rotation in the market, maybe like out of these large cap names and go a little bit defense, I don't know. But the theme is still, people want to still own the Nvidia. People still want to own, especially investment side of the world, right? Where they still want to own large cap names that have been outperforming in 2022, 23, 24, Mag 7, okay? But I don't know if there is an appetite for discounted names like AMD, and that's why I want to watch how AMD reacts when semiconductors do move one way or another. If you take a look at the VIX, volatility is going to go higher. That's certain. This is, seasonality. If we talk about seasonality of a January, February, where a lot of people, they do rebalance, adjust to the next year going forward, and there's a lot going on, right? And VIX is going to rise. And today we saw on a Friday, usually you don't see volatility go up on a Friday, but today on Friday, VIX closed 8% higher. Yes, it was moving towards 18-ish if you take a look at the 10-minute chart. But then it cooled off a little bit, which means, but it means that the people could be positioning for some sort of a volatility. And that's when I want to see what AMD does. Resistance levels, I will talk about this one. Let's take a look, actually. It's very straightforward. What levels I'm watching for AMD. AMD, of course, in the morning, it flushed a little bit. But 50-day moving average. First level would be, I'm watching this 127 maybe? Okay, let's drop it down. 127. And I would be watching the 50-day moving average for the stock. At the same time, 130 is your 20-day moving average resistance, and then 50-day moving average is 140. So this is the resistance I would be watching for the stock. It's the potential if it wants to push, if semiconductors catch some sort of a bid. I want to see if it's going to join or not. But if it does crack this recent low of 118. I would be watching it to the downside all the way to $100 levels. And if I want to see at the same time what it does when overall market pulls back a little bit more. Because if you take a look at the SPY, it's hovering around 50-day moving average. I want to see, this is if AMD stays strong, if people rotate out of high-flying names and think that AMD is a discount, I want to see when overall market, maybe we're going to have a correction of a S&P 500 all the way to 200-day moving average, and S&P 500 drops. What is it? It's not significant of a pullback. It would be. So let's say, what if we have a 6% correction in January and February? That's when I would like to see where AMD will be trading. If it gets knocked down, then certainly it could be a trade both ways. If it breaks down, I would be trading it to the downside. If it breaks up, I would be trading it to the upside. In terms of option activity, let's be quick with this one. I saw a lot of people selling calls for AMD, despite it having traded a lot of call options. I saw a lot of spreads for this week and even next week, which means the third side of the coin, it can move sideways. Okay, it can keep burning premium. Look at these calls that the volumes that came in: 510,000 today, 262,000 puts, 510k contract of a calls volume, total volume. And if you take a look at 39% of that volume was delta between 0 to 20, 200,000 contracts. That means those contracts were probably sold. And puts, same thing. Like 33% of the puts were basically very cheap contracts that are maybe far outside of the money. Maybe it's somebody, okay, if this stock goes to like $100, yeah, I'll sell $100 and I don't mind getting assigned, something like that. So, but for February, largest, I mean, what is it implying? It is implying that much of a move. Basically, for January 17th expiration, month expiration, is implying $10 move. But for February 21st, it is implying $20 move up or down. So this is what I'm watching. So I'm not bullish the stock every time I'm talking about this one. I'm not super bearish. When stock is in a downtrend, I mean, you want to call things by their name, right? If it's in a downtrend, it is in a downtrend, okay? And some people get mad, like when I was making these videos, were like 35% down, 45% down, $100 target. And some people don't like, and they're just too mean. They even message me on Discord. I'm like, dude, I mean, I'm just calling, I'm objective. I'm a trader, okay? I'm not trying to sell you this stock, or I'm not trying to dump you anything. I mean, I don't have a position in this stock. I'm just waiting. It takes for me sometimes like months to get ready for some sort of a trade setup where I see that I'm attracted to the risk reward, then I'll take it. But otherwise, it's a lot of times it's just stock sits on my watch list for weeks and months before I take any trade. So I don't have any position in this stock, and I don't care where it goes, okay? But I'm just watching this name, still in a downtrend. Is it showing some sort of a divergence? It is, kinda, but at the same time, it is beaten down quite a bit. So this is your like a relief bounce. If it bounces a little bit more, all the way to 139, yeah, that I can go that way. If we're gonna get some sort of a breakout in semiconductor sector as a whole, because not all of the names are doing well lately. And you saw the SMH as well, that it's been in a downtrend. If you take a look at it on weekly, you can see consolidation maybe. If you look at it on a monthly chart as well, look, it hasn't done much as an ETF since the close of monthly, July close of you can see where it has been closing. It's been burning premium for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months now. But the move is coming next year. We'll see how people are going to reposition themselves, how market is going to reposition, and how they're going to reposition themselves after president takes the office in January 20th. So get ready for volatility. That's the point. So that's the update for AMD. See you in the next one. Take care. Peace.